Conversations, the show that keeps you dreaming, planning, and exploring. Only on Travel Radio. Let's talk travel.
Hi, I'm Moses. Our mission is to encourage, to educate, and to equip travelers. We want everyone to have an enjoyable, cost-effective, and culturally enriching travel experience because we think travelradio.live because we think that traveling is an effective way to learn more about different continents, their people, and their cultures. I love what I do, and yes, we have a great team. You should probably join us at travelradio.live.
News and banter.
Every week we go through exams.
Still
daily.
motivating.
No, I'm not motivating.
You're motivating.
I'm not.
Is Trump power drunk?
Ukraine should be allowed to do whatever he wants to do. It's a country on its own.
News and banter.
You're missing the point.
Wait, I'm not missing the point.
What are the challenges? What is exactly going on? Why is there so much hullabaloo?
It's just
because it's a back door.
No, it's not because it's a back.
News and banter. Stay informed.
Turn the dial to a story untold, where the sun sets and golds unfold. Voices rise like a beating heart. Travel Radio Live is where we start. Feel the pulse of the country.
All right, if you are just joining us on Wake and Wonder on travelradio.live, my name is Chokwe Samuel, and this is Wake and Wonder. This is the place where you, my wanderers, we tell the travel stories with current affairs, or where current affairs meet movement and headlines meet humanity.
It's a heartbeat, a vision we share. Dive deep.
We're broadcasting live for the bold, the curious, and the globally grounded.
It's where you should be.
Indeed, this is where you should be, because this isn't just your usual travel show, and we are not talking about destinations. We are tracing the real roots of power, policy, and possibility from Lagos to Lisbon, Accra to Amsterdam, Kingston to Kigali.
Radio's face, not just a station, but a voice profound. Echoes of legacy, the world around. Where tradition meets the future ahead. Travels the song and it's never dead. Travel radio, it's more than just air. It's a heartbeat, a vision we share.
Here on Wake and Wonder, we tune into the lived stories of Black and African travelers, from detained dreamers and passport holders with questions to farmers, freedom seekers, health workers, and nomads by necessity. We ask, what does it mean to belong in a world that keeps redrawing the lines? And how do we keep moving with joy, with dignity, with resistance?
Voices rise like a beating heart. Travel Radio Live is where we start.
So if you're wondering where you should start your day, this is where to start your day, because we bring you nothing but travel top stories.
Where we start, where we start. Travel radio, it's more than just air. It's a heartbeat, a vision we share. Dive deep into culture, wild and free. It's Africa's rhythm. Travel radio, it's more than just air. It's a heartbeat, a vision we share.
Kilo 574, number 3.
Travel now. Travelradio.live.
Welcome back to Wake and Wonder. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining me via any link via our website www.travelradio.live, via all our social network where we are streaming right now, thank you for joining me. I'm sure you're here just to catch in on one or two. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Oh, somebody say nice turn beard. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But all right, last week we were at the World Travel Market. It was amazing. Charity and I did a lot of commentaries, and we talked a lot about the event and what was happening. I would like to dive into it, but not right now. But first of all, we'd like to get on with top stories from the diaspora. Just in about less than an hour, we'll be finishing this episode of Wake and Wonder. It's still our test transmission as we are gearing up to take it to the next notch, another notch. So just stay with us and help us grow. All I'm asking is whatever we you think we can do to help you enjoy the show even better, do let us know. But today we will be looking at some stories, I mean some top stories from the diaspora, top stories from Africa, and that's talking about luxury tourism in Africa often fails to benefit locals, new research shows. So I don't know if you live in Africa or you're an African listening to me, but you see, the thing is, as African tourism really benefited you because it does feels like locals pay as much as tourists pay. Anyway, we get into that in a not in a little while. But first, we'll be looking at Ghana tourism strategy targets diaspora and business travelers for premium growth in West Africa, and that is uh, coming from our top travel stories from the diaspora. And we will just do a quick recap of the world travel market. We met amazing people, but anyway, I'll touch on it at 8:30. We'll be bringing that your way. And at 8:45, we'll be looking at, we are in the city of London just in case, because the time may not be the same in your zone, but this is London time. So bear with us. So we are Oh, actually, our time is, I mean, on travel radio is 8 GMT plus one. So we'll be excited if you tune in every Mondays and Fridays to catch in on top travel stories. And lastly, on today's, we'll be looking at top travel story from Nigeria. And this time, we'll be looking at Nigeria's tourism image problem hampers growth. If you're in Nigeria, you want to catch in on this conversation with me at 8:45, you are most welcome. But first, let's quickly dive into that of top stories from diaspora. Unfortunately, we may not spend too much time on this one, but because our time is fast spent, let's just crack on this one. The Ghana tourism sector is entering a transformative phase, guided by insightful new data that highlights its most valuable customer groups. Groundbreaking findings from the Ghana Statistical Service (GSS) have confirmed that diaspora visitors and professional business travelers are the highest spending segments driving the industry forward. This positions the nation for strong economic growth and enhanced competitiveness within the West African tourism landscape. Just take a little, let me take a little commentary there, or let me just put some little insight there. So the thing about this, because today we'll be touching on a lot of economic issues, talking about economy. You see, economy drives tourism. There's nothing we can do about it. Economy is the main driver of tourism. So if we are going to be talking about travel, tourism, anything at all, it's going to be the economy of that country, the economy, it's a key player there. And if the challenge that, if the statistics is also saying that diaspora tend to spend more money w- in when they go to Ghana, that explains a lot that something is not right with the economy in the country. It's just like, let me use England for instance. A lot of British don't, in fact, they are outgoing people. When they say outgoing, like you never, it's like sickness if a British is in the house. A British never stays in the house. Or if you're a resident in England, you don't stay in the house. There's just a reason for you to want to go somewhere. And I mean, that is the culture. And you know what? Even if the tourists are coming to the country and both the residents of the country are still able to afford things, I mean, anything that explores tourism in the country. So if that margin is missing in West Africa, in Ghana precisely, then there's a lot to deal with. That means there's a root problem, and the root problem is going to be economy. But let's still crack on this one. It says covering October 2022 to September 2023, the International Traveler Survey revealed that Ghana hosted 901,408 448 international visitors, which I think it is amazing compared to some other countries, though. But to be honest with you, compared to some other countries, in my sarcasm, they beat even this number, to be honest, because I think was it last week we did the numbers of how many countries. That was last week Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Monday also. We did the numbers of how many countries visitors that are coming into African countries for tourism. It was amazing. It was mind blowing. Anyway, who collectively spent 15.42 billion within this group. Professional travelers emerged as the most lucrative, reflecting significantly higher spending levels. Meanwhile, American travelers stood out for exhibiting the strongest per capita spending, creating opportunities for Ghana to deepen its outreach to North American market, which Ghana did well. And if we saw what happened the other time where is George Floyd, yeah, said, I can breathe. And we had that moment where Ghanaians just opened their doors and said, listen, if you are in the diaspora, you are most welcome to come home. We will make a place for you. And African American who felt like, no, you know what, we are not being treated well, took the opportunity to run to Ghana and settle in Ghana. Some of them didn't enjoy it, some of them did enjoy it, some of them, I mean, they're able to just live the life. But it still brings a lot of question to how does it match up with what their income they're earning in America compared to their earning in Ghana. You will need, you see, that's the thing, you will need another level of creativity and innovation to make money in Africa. I'll be honest with you, especially in West Africa. And that's why you see the Nigerians are highly resilient. Like, these guys, come on, you can't, I mean, the opportunities are not there, so they create the opportunities. So African American coming in from United States may not have the same resilience that West Africans have to create that level of opportunity. One good thing is that if you come up with an innovation or a beautiful idea, you will get the patronage because the numbers are there. The numbers are in Nigeria, in Ghana, in West Africa, so you're gonna break even. However, it takes a lot of resilience to make that happen. So the question is still going to be, if you coming in from United States as an African American trying to settle in Ghana, if you don't have the resilience Ghanaians have, if you don't have the resilience Nigerians have, you may not be able to make it. So you could regret your actions to say, you know what, I'd rather go to America and be coming in every now and then. And that's because the talking about um I'm looking for the right word. I'm looking for the right word. In terms of spending power, it's not the same, or earning power is not going to be the same, rather. Earning power is not going to be the same, which also will affect your spending power. So the issue of whether Ghanaians, the Ghana tourism strategy that is targeting diaspora and business travelers for premium growth in West Africa, we need to dive in deep on this, and I'm hopefully going to bring in a key member of the tourism board to have a conversation with us next week so that we can really look into this and see the opportunities that are in Ghana. I'll be honest with you, during the event, World Travel Market, we ran into we actually went to the Ghanaian corner, the booth where the port is amazing, beautiful. I mean, exhibition of the kente, everything, the culture, amazing. You get in there on the African session, you just know for a fact that this is a beautiful display of culture. And Ghana is also attracting a lot of people from diaspora to come and to come and settle in, giving there's a program where you can buy a land, settle in, and build and things like that. And just, I mean, Ghana is taking that initiative to drive its economy through tourism. And looking at the rise of the business of tourism, the influence of professional visitors has been profound. Detailed survey data show that professional expenditure expanded from 1.7 billion to the second quarter of 2023 to 2.7 billion in the third quarter, a sharp quarterly rise of 59%. The surge underscore how business tourism has become a cornerstone of Ghana's tourism economy. Corporate travelers are increasingly viewing Ghana as an ideal environment that combines professional infrastructure with cultural authenticity. And do you know that Ghana was said to be the second most peaceful country in Africa? That was a statistic. Was it that was done last week? I think the first was Rwanda, then Ghana, and those two countries are found very interesting place to live. I have not been to Ghana other than passing through, but being in Rwanda, I mean, it's a place I would say for a female solo traveler, you are very, very safe. I have done it before, and I'm telling you, Rwanda is very, very safe for female solo traveler. And I reckon that's the same with Ghana because the testimony from Ghana says a lot about how Ghana has become that place for tourists to settle, to stay, to enjoy their time. And Ghana is making a lot of efforts in this regard. So, a key factor supporting this trend is Ghana's reputation as a stable African democracy. And coupled with growing infrastructure development, these trends are making the country attractive for international conferences, business meetings, and company retreats. For Ghana, attracting this segment not only delivers direct tourism revenue, but also enhances the nation's reputation as a regional hub for commerce and investment. So, if you are thinking about it, or you're considering where should I go to in Africa? Yesterday, I was asking someone from Sudan, and he was telling me stuff about Sudan, how the war and North Sudan, South Sudan, Christian, and Muslim, rebels, military, and everything. And I asked a proper question. I said, if you were given an option to choose an African country apart from your country to settle in, where would you go? And he said, you know what? I have never thought about it. And for me, as long as it's an African country, it's a black nation, I am up for it. As long as there's going to be development, even if it's not there yet, but there's a plan, I am happy to settle in any African countries, any African country that recognizes me, welcomes me to settle and to invest. We'll be right back with the next story. Don't go nowhere. We're top stories from Africa, top travel stories from Africa. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Adetola Okala and I live in Ikeja City, Lagos, Nigeria. And I listen to Travel Radio Live.
Travel Radio Live. Connecting people, changing narratives. Connect. Change. Live.
Looking for more than just destinations? We're bringing you the stories behind the journeys. From cultural explorations to travel hacks. From industry experts to passionate travelers. This is where the world meets to share experiences. Welcome to Leading Travel Conversations, the show that keeps you dreaming, planning, and exploring. Only on Travel Radio. Let's talk travel.
Hi, I'm Moses. Our mission is to encourage, to educate, and to equip travelers. We want everyone to have an enjoyable, cost-effective, and culturally enriching travel experience because we think travelradio.live because we think that traveling is an effective way to learn more about different continents, their people, and their cultures. I love what I do, and yes, we have a great team. You should probably join us at travelradio.live.
Don't probably join us. Just join us on travelradio.live. It is www.travelradio.live. We'll be hoping that we'll be expecting your click. Just go to www.travelradio.live. Visit us, read our blogs, check us out, and how can you become a contributor to travelradio.live? And listen, we are not saying we're the best, but we are the first talking about travel stories, updates on travel radio. This is us. All right, let's get into the next story and see what is happening. So we're talking about now, we're looking into top stories from top travel stories from Africa, and we're looking at the luxury tourism in Africa, which often fails to benefit locals. New research has shown. And you know what's even interesting about this is that there's been a lot of developments this year and even last year, a lot of resorts, luxury tourism springing up from different parts of the world. I mean, different parts of Africa, in Kenya, and talking about Kenya, oh my God, Kenya is making it happen when it comes to travel and tourism. These guys are not even, they are, when the Nigerians say they no gree, that's what Kenya is doing when it comes to travel and tourism. And I am very proud of that country, the way they are turning things around for themselves. But talking about luxury, um, luxury tourism in Africa, there's been a lot of developments, but the question is, are they benefiting? Are the locals benefiting from this? Now, look at this. Let me remind you of the Lobito corridor in Angola. The Lobito corridor does seem like, oh, this is going to boost agriculture. This is going to open new roads to the rural areas. There will be opportunities and there will be closure between the government, the people, and trade. And then the Lobito corridor is going straight to DRC Congo. And DRC Congo, you know what is in DRC Congo? A lot of mineral resources. And that means that something is going to be passing through to the Lobito corridor in Angola, and from there shipped down to United States. Somebody is making a fortune, but are the locals actually benefiting from this? Let's see what the story says. All right. It says efforts by some African nations to attract luxury tourism have yielded limited benefit for local communities, with new research by the University of Manchester saying on Tuesday that it often it often causes more harm than good. Rising business and leisure travel on the continent has made it increasingly attractive for multinational companies. Airlines have also increased their African capacity in some nations. That momentum is translating into economic impact. And talking about that, we've seen a lot of airline routes have been opened to Africans, and that has been amazing. And that is really, really did. It's amazing, especially with Ethiopia Airline. And Ethiopia Airline has been opening Africa to the world. Well done, Ethiopian Airline. Well done, well done. Talking about airline, Airpeace was present at the World Travel Market, but let me not digress. I'm so proud of those guys too. I mean, they are amazing. They came in their cultural outlook to exhibit Airpiece um and to also attract new customers and new relationship. Amazing. But let's get back to talking about luxury travel in or luxury tourism in Africa. All right, let's look at some of the developments that we are still talking about. Many African governments are targeting luxury tourism development, describing it as high value, low impact, but the research published in African Studies Review has found that is not always the case. All inclusive resorts are often cut off from local life, hire few local workers, and keep tourists from spending in nearby communities by providing everything on site, it said. The research added the most profitable eco lodges were foreign owned, with much of the tourist spending flowing to overseas travel agencies. You see, it's look, guys, this is really funny. Okay, maybe I'm getting passionate now. It says flowing to overseas travel agencies, food imports, or profits repatriated abroad. It also argued luxury tourism depends inequality, with profits concentrated among foreign operators or a small local elite, while wages for most tourism jobs remain low. Now let's really talk about this. You see, one thing I do love about the news or updates is that it opens us up to where the opportunities really are, which means that there's a lot of opportunities to be tapped in tourism when it comes to Africa, regarding Africa. Now look at it from another perspective. You see, mineral resources have been tapped. A lot of businesses are going on. Every embassies in Africa is doing business. Consulates are the one giving visas, right? I'm sure a lot of us know that. But here's now the thing. Now, the new thing, the new money, which is tourism, apart from the advent of tech, you know, now it's being tapped, and the and it does seem like the money are being repatriated, and most of the major resorts in the country are owned by foreign agencies. And talking about agencies, you know how agencies own hotels, own food and beverage, own so many things like that, and there are chains or retails, and it does seem like to get in is so hard because you're dealing with some agencies, you're dealing with people who have monopolized the market already, and Africa is for grab. Yes, indeed, it is for grab. I mean, everybody is fighting to get something from Africa. Mineral resources is in abundance. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe, though, tourism is another way to tap the mineral resources. Yes. Do you know how many foreign countries, I don't want to mention names, are buying land in mass to what's the word I'm looking for? To get gold. That's not the word I'm looking for, actually. I'm looking for the right word, actually, that is used for things like that. To mine gold. You see, but the thing there is, how is it benefiting the locals? That is something to talk about. That is what African government needs to sit down to really look into. So much abundant wealth, but with impoverished communities. That is not okay. That is not okay. So, what is iconic about those resorts? Because if I'm going to have a resort, I'm just going to look at the area. What is iconic about the cultural um, what's iconic about the culture in that place, even in terms of food, everything. I will use that to drive the results. But definitely, it's not even creating enough job opportunities. So, I mean, African government needs to sit down why they want to drive this as a high value. They should also consider high impact, not low impact, because research is this is a research, and it's showing that look, your communities are suffering while other agencies are coming to set up businesses through tourism in your country, and then it leaves your people poor. The money is repatriated, and what do the people get for it? And then even the government sometimes go as far as even taking the land, like grabbing the land, not even taking, like grabbing the land. You see my stress. grabbing the land and giving it to these agencies because they are taking some taxes and revenues from these agencies. And when the agency takes a lot, I mean, when the agency feels that the government has taken a lot, they become entitled, and then they play the politics with the people of the community. And these are part of the things that causes revolt in the land. It is not fair. I think people who are residents of Africa who should enjoy the beauty of their land through whatever tourism business that is being set up. And let me say this. Let me say this. This is why for us, Travel Radio, we are talking strictly about travel. We are not interested in the politics. We are not interested in any other thing other than the tourism and travel of Africa, of people of color. It doesn't matter where you are, whether in Asia, whether in America, whether in Europe, whether in Latin America, whether in Africa. We are just talking about travel and tourism about the people of color. And this has nothing to do with race. This is just about the undermined or under what is the word I'm looking for now? I keep missing my words, but people who are not talked about. Because you see, Europe have tapped its tourism. Asia is tapping its tourism. Oh my God, India is amazing now. Right now, is booming with tourism. Not to mention other parts of Asia. Latin America is a destination. They are really doing amazing. Not to mention the Caribbean. Is it America you want to mention? America is doing I mean, you don't need to even mention. But the point is, every other continent has tapped their tourism potential. Africa is yet to tap its own. And wait till we get to that segment where we start talking about Nigeria. All right. But right about now, I will close the curtain on top travel stories from Africa. And we'll be right back to continue in the conversation. And this is the place where I wish that Charity could join me so we can do a quick recap on the event, World Travel Market, and then we will dive into the last segment of today's episode, talking about the Nigerian travel news update. But right about now, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
News and banter.
Every week we go through exams
still
daily.
motivated.
No, I'm not motivating.
You're motivated.
I'm not.
Is Trump power drunk?
Ukraine should be allowed to do whatever it is that he wants to do. It's a country on its own.
News and banter.
You're missing the point.
Wait, I'm not missing the point.
What are the challenges? What is exactly going on? Why is there so much bullabaloo?
It's just
Because it's a back door.
No, it's not because it's a back.
News and banter. Stay informed.
Looking for more than just destinations? We're bringing you the stories behind the journeys, from cultural explorations to travel hacks, from industry experts to passionate travelers. This is where the world meets to share experiences. Welcome to Leading Travel Conversations, the show that keeps you dreaming, planning, and exploring. Only on Travel Radio. Let's talk travel.
Turn the dial to a story untold, where the sunsets and golds unfold. Voices rise like a beating heart. Travel Radio Live is where we start. Feel the pulse of the continent's soul. Every journey, every tale makes us whole. From bustling streets to Serengeti song. This is your place where you belong. Travel Radio, it's more than just air. It's a heartbeat, a vision we share. Dive deep into culture.
Welcome back to Wake and Wonder on Travel Radio Live. If you are listening to us from wherever platform you are listening to, we want to say thank you for joining us on this beautiful network. And we are soliciting your support. Sorry, I got distracted there. I saw a squirrel. Anyway, I mean, that's something again I love about England, about London. There's a lot of preservation in terms of nature, and that is an amazing thing. I think we should all have it. Not kill all the conservation, not kill the snakes because you found them in your yard, not kill all of the creatures. No, please. Let's have a form of conservation so that we can, I mean, animals need to live so we can live. Trees need to breathe so we can breathe. It is an ecosystem. All right. So if you are listening in from whatever platform you're listening in from our social network, thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And look at this space every Mondays and Fridays, 8 a.m. GMT plus one, and we'll do our best to bring you nothing but the best. We will do a lot more effort. We'll put in a lot more effort to bringing you the experts, the whistleblowers, and everyone who has contribute who can contribute to the show to help us bring insights to you, especially as it relates to travel and tourism across the world. All right. Also, this is that segment where between 8 and 12 on Travel Radio is the Global Business and Learning segment, and that's and Wake and Wonder is the first segment of this belt. And that said, don't forget to visit us on www.travelradio.live, and you will do us a huge favor by making sure that you follow us on all our social network. Please follow us at Travel Radio or at travelradio.live. Find us on all social network and follow us. You can Google us as Tourism Radio. You'll find us. Travel Radio. You will find us. Thank you. All right, let's quickly get into a quick recap and we close with the last segment of today's episode, talking about top travel story from Nigeria. But first, the event recap from the World Travel Market London. Last week was amazing. It was a 3 day world travel market. I mean, we went in on from the 4th to the 6th of last week, that was of November. And every year like that, you want to be part of it. We will be doing a lot more about this because it was amazing. It was something we found interesting. So that on our website, we're going to come up with kind of a show of interest. If you are interested in joining us on next year's next year to be on the exhibition stand, will be amazing. That will be amazing because we are looking to get a stand so that we can be present. It is quite pricey and we are placing no charge at all. The only thing we are asking for is just a contribution to the fact that to the fact that we want you to be present, especially if you are from Africa, especially if you need to apply for a visa, then you can signify your interest. You can do a show of interest on our website. We will let you know when the link is ready, and we will share so that all you need to do is you just show interest and we carry on with the conversation, because next year we want to really have a stand at the World Travel Market. And you know also that the World Travel Market is not limited to England. It's also they also do have annually in, I think, in Cape Town, South Africa. They also have in Singapore. They have across, I think, Japan too. They have across the world, even in America. So you can attend anyone closest to you. And this year we saw a lot of exhibitions. Some countries who came last year. Last year, China took almost the entire region, and it was amazing. China was massive last year, but unfortunately, China didn't come. Maybe they went to another country to do some exhibition, or maybe the tariff issues or the global tariff issues from Trump is Trump's America is affecting China too, but we never know. We don't know. But it does seem like some countries didn't turn up this year. Thailand was there. What other country was there? Um, India was there. Oh my, India was amazing. Morocco didn't stay with Africa. Morocco actually was at was it with the European markets or something like that? And Tunisia was with the Middle Eastern region. It was amazing. I mean, I'm like, you want to roll with the big boys, you need to position yourself. A lot of countries did position themselves. Charity, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
All right, Charity, I'm doing a quick recap on the world travel market. And I was talking about Morocco. Morocco just moved away from Africa and say, you know what, we're not playing this game this year. We are going to sit with Europe. And they did position themselves in their exhibition at the World Travel Market London in Excel. Um, what do you think of that? Even Tunisia
I
went
love
with the
it.
Middle East. Now they're like, we are serious about this market. We want to pull
I
the
love it.
billions.
I love it. I am so proud every single time a nation, a brand just decides, to stop being the underdog and
Hmm.
square up to the big boys, step up to the table.
Yeah.
It just makes me so proud. I mean, we talk about Morocco, but did you see the exhibition that Egypt put up?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh my. It felt like Egypt brought all their
My
gold.
goodness.
The
Egypt was not
mummy.
playing.
Oh
Egypt was a little
man.
bit inside, but they owned their space. I was like, what?
Oh my.
I
Egypt was
couldn't believe
massive.
it. I
Egypt
felt
was
like I'd
massive.
entered a palace, like one of those kind of African palatial setup where, you're just completely overwhelmed by the beauty and the art and the culture. Utterly stunning.
Yeah.
Utterly stunning.
It
North
was
Africa is
amazing.
bringing it.
Yeah, North Africa was, I mean, Tunisia, I mean, Egypt, Morocco, and Morocco is like, what, we've been pulling the numbers. We've been pulling the numbers into Africa in terms of tourism and numbers of visitors. And Egypt were like,
I
no, we are standing out this time. And talking about Egypt, if you can remember that for every resident, if you're a resident in the Schengen or in England, you have a residence visa. It is visa on arrival. If to go to Egypt, you skip applying going through the monotonous, the cumbersome process of applying for visa. All you need to do is visa on upon arrival, and that's one of the ways. Also, they are making opportunities to make tourists come to their country, and Morocco is doing the same. You see. So honestly, and when these guys came into in London to do their
and
exhibition, they meant business.
you know what I love about Morocco, positionally, culturally, and whatever otherly, they have maintained their stance. I went through Morocco for a few days, and
Yes, that's
I
true.
can't lie, I was utterly
Charity,
blown
for the
away.
purpose of those who are probably listening to you for the first time, you didn't just went. I'm using your words in quote. You didn't just went through Morocco. I mean, you traveled through Morocco using a public transport from London to Lagos, Nigeria, and you had to pass through Morocco. And what was the experience quickly before we go?
Of course, it was not what I expected. I was
What do you
anxious to
mean?
begin with.
What which wasn't what you expected?
Well, I mean, I have people in my life who, when they talk about their experiences of Morocco, it's actually quite intimidating and terrifying. And honestly, I feel like in a lot of situations where these things happened, that is that is such a shame because that's not the culture. That's for me what I experienced being on the ground, going in public transport. being allowed to stay and be safe in situation where I would never have thought I'd be safe. Like for instance, on my first night, I had to sleep at the bus station, and
How safe
guess
was it for
what?
you?
The staff, it was extremely safe. I
In
mean,
Morocco,
they,
right?
I don't, yes, it was so
Wait,
safe. People were
wait,
so kind.
wait. Don't did you not have like two family friends of yours who just came back from Morocco?
Yes,
Imagine.
I do. Yes,
Hmm,
yes, I do. Yes.
interesting.
Um, but on the journey, obviously, I wasn't able to make plans for accommodation. I missed my onward transport, and they invited me to stay at the station. It
Hmm,
wasn't something they do because you can come to the station to wait for your bus, but obviously you can't come to the station to sleep. Do
imagine.
you understand? But they went even further and offered me to sleep in the prayer room,
In the prayer
which
room.
for me, yeah,
That's
as a
amazing.
non-Muslim,
That's
was
amazing.
incredibly humbling.
Yeah.
All throughout the journeys, I just collected aunties, uncles, brothers, and sisters, like like I was their lost child, you know.
Hmm.
So I am so proud of Morocco.
Yeah.
So
So
proud.
what
And
is your
the food,
take
of
with
course, the food.
yeah, before we go,
Mm.
really, Charity, before we go, because we want to touch on the last story and we don't want to take any more time. What is your take on the world travel market that happened last
Um,
week? Short
so
recap.
this was my first time,
Yeah.
and to tell you the truth, if you have a general overview of of the